Hello, my name is Geoff, and you're with me and a guest to talk about what on earth it is that I'm going to do on Saturday, November 2nd of this year, 2024, as I enter my fourth year of Extra Life presenting the second annual Ghostnola Industries Cardio Souls Charity Variation Guaranteed World Record Attempt. But first, to learn what Extra Life is, let's go to Max.
What is Extra Life? Extra Life is a program of Children's Miracle Network hospitals with over 50,000 participants. Since its inception in 2008, Extra Lifers from across the globe have raised more than $100 million for local member children's hospitals. Money raised through Extra Life supports member children's hospitals, funding critical treatments or pediatric medical equipment, making sure that hospitals can provide charitable care to those in need, specialized services not covered by insurance. The money Geoff is raising this year is going towards his local Children's Miracle Network hospital, Children's Specialized Hospital in Mountainside, New Jersey. Children's Specialized Hospital is the preeminent provider of rehabilitation healthcare services for children with special needs, serving children affected by brain injury, spinal cord injury, premature birth, autism, developmental delays, and life-changing illnesses. Every dollar you give helps provide life-saving care to children in need. Thanks for your donations, and now back to the show. Take it away, Geoff.
Hey, thanks, Max. So here today, we are with none other than IGgy IGsen himself. Iggy, how you doing?
I am doing great, thank you.
All right, so I am going to possibly make a mistake because I am trusting friend of mine, friend of yours, friend of ours, Skippy Granola, who said he gave me some advice when I talked to him last. He said, I know that Iggy. Don't call him German. Don't call him Belgian. That man's Bavarian. Did he play a Skippy Granola trick on me?
I mean, it's true, I am from Bavaria originally, but it's not that important to me. But like, yeah, Bavaria is kind of a country of its own in Germany. It's kind of like, I don't know, the Texas of Germany.
Okay, interesting. Well, Iggy, picture it. Portland, Maine, 2011. A sad, broken down hunk of meat sits alone in his apartment, passing the time with the LP archive entries of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. And also, Brothers a Tale, which, this is the Skippy Iggy connection into here. Flash forward. New Jersey, 2015. The same sad, broken down hunk of meat buys a 6-pack of beer and a pint of ice cream on the way home from teaching high school mathematics each night just to fight off the anxiety of this new job. And he ponders, I wonder if anyone has done anything with Dark Souls 2. Enter IGgy IGsen. So normally, we do the, hey, what do you know about FromSoft? What do you know about Dark Souls? You've played through all of them. You've streamed all of them. You've LP'd all of them. I'm currently, if you're watching this in real time, but it's going to be posted later, Skippy and I, we are currently playing through Scholar because he never finished it. We got the old private server mod, so it's just clown time. I gotta say, I think my love of Dark Souls 2 had to come from watching, your various journeys going through it. It really, kind of struck me that, it's a bit of an ugly duckling, but there's something there to this one.
Well, that's surprising, because I'm not too high on that game myself.
Well, I guess maybe I learned by the misfortunes you had to go through playing it. We recently wrapped up Iron King. And thankfully, I had my foresight from remembering you and others having to suffer through that of just, when it's a good idea and when it's a terrible idea to bum rush ahead and, maybe try and take out one of them Nadalia Ash statues, which just, geez, I'm trying to get achievements, so I had to hunt down all of them. That sucked. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Tell me about it. I did all of it. Not once, not twice, not just 3 times, probably a dozen times. Yeah. I don't know why I did this to myself, but I did it.
Yeah. So, as you kind of gave me some love of Dark Souls 2, I think going back through, you went for I would say humor and informative for what you did. So Skippy, I got to give credit every time. He taught me the mechanics of Dark Souls, which is sword and board. Direct quote: sword and board, Jeffy. Just block everything. Take the blow, trade it off. I gotta say, if I was to name the person that Souls brained me, it would have to be you, with just showing the inner mechanics of it. Which is now why I've spent thousands of hours with Dark Souls 1 on PC and PlayStation and Switch, and yeah, I kind of got a problem at this point with it. So since IGgy, you're directly responsible for this path I've chosen and these terrible things that I do to my body through the vehicle of Dark Souls. Thanks, IGgy.
No problem. I'd do it again anytime.
Well, so I'm hoping perhaps you haven't watched much of the videos. We developed what I like to call cardio souls. And that's this topic. The alternate name I have for cardio souls is how I have decided to spend one day a year physically assaulting my own body in the name of charity while playing a video game using cardiovascular exercise equipment. I hope you can see why I like to shorten it to cardio souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know you've I guess you've done challenge runs, in a sense. We all kind of do. What's maybe the most fun or weirdest or just worst one you've done in any of the series?
I mean, I guess it would have to be like Dual Cestus and Dark Souls 2, even though I don't like that game, it's not that great. But Dual Cestus is fun. It's not too hard either. Like, it's barely a challenge run, but it's definitely a fun one to do. You just have to, like, I don't know, get really close to everything, hug the ass of that enemy directly, just never leave, and eventually you'll win.
Yeah, it's get the gooch. I know Torpo was recently doing a playthrough that he started with, just I will fist everything to death, and then quickly kind of got off that path with the old Black Knight sword, because there's that enemy placement. We joke about how bad it is. It is quite bad. It's not friendly. I will say my preferred way to play Dark Souls 2 was I depopulated the entire world. I said, all right, I'm going to truly engage with what you got for me. So I just made Drangleic just empty, just completely empty.
The genocide run.
Yes, the genocide run of Drangleic. This time, though, Skippy has made me promise, and I've stuck with it. We're not doing that. Because there's two of us, really. We can just bully everybody. It's great. Lots of poison going anywhere. But we're playing Dark Souls 1 for Cardio Souls for the Extra Life Marathon 2024, November 2nd, starting around noonish Eastern Standard Time. So, like any game, there's some rules, and I feel like maybe I should tell you about the rules of Cardio Souls. So you can maybe give me some expert insight, and also, if you're confused, just please ask me for any clarification when you need it.
All right.
Okay. So, while playing the game, I must be using a stair stepper, which is my cardio machine of choice. So feet go on, steppy uppy, steppy downy. Unless a cutscene is playing, I need to be moving, which kind of works to my advantage. It isn't a speed run. So, it's, we were about 6.5, 7 hours last year to clear the game. That was a lot of stair stepping, and the cutscenes, they're really front loaded. So I just was taking any little boss intro I could find to just kind of suck some wind. All glitches within the game are valid. So, duping items, Sensgate, skip, all of those fun things. Why not? I didn't do Sensgate last year. This year there is an incentive to do the DLC before we fight Sif, which that's going to be a whole lot of chicanery, which is probably going to get that Lord Vessel way before I should get it, just so I can just, I play as a glass cannon, by the way. It's all crystal magic. We're just We're not engaging with the game in an honorable fashion. There's no duels. It's just, I'm gonna blast them. It's very Frank Reynolds if you're an Always Sunny in Philadelphia fan. Here's why I kind of needed those breaks. As soon as I defeat a boss, there is a user-submitted, donation-based alcoholic beverage queue, which provides me a drink I then must immediately consume.
Well, you shouldn't have told me that.
Would you like to know what I drank last year?
Oh, sure. Tell me.
Okay. Are you familiar with Malort?
I have heard that name before, yes.
Okay. So Malort is a drink beloved in Chicago. Iggy is a fellow wrestling fan. We all heard of, Chicago's own CM Punk, though he is straight edge. Maybe he has a Malort shirt somewhere. Who can say? From what I have found out, an immigrant to Chicago, way back in the day, Upton Sinclair, the jungle, he decided he wanted to make absinthe, back from his own country, which kind of ties into why Iggy's here, everybody. Except you kind of need some specific stuff to make absinthe. And in turn of the century Chicago, he did not have that. So he just kind of winged it. And we have Malort, which I have heard friends say tastes like burnt erasers. To me, when I was 19, and hey, this is one for you, and I came home after washing out of professional wrestling school, I decided I really needed to get healthy. So I started drinking grapefruit juice, like concentrated grapefruit juice, and it's got kind of a kick to it. So yeah, the smell is kind of like grapefruit. And the back end taste, it's just like when I used to get up in the morning and, drink a little 8-ouncer of grapefruit juice. And I really had to struggle and choke it down, usually by saying, it's good for me. And, Malort, there's worse things you could put in your body.
You could drink poison, yes, but you shouldn't. I'm more of a whiskey man myself.
I love a gasoline whiskey.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the whiskey. So we had 3 Malort shots to start us off. Then we had, somebody was nice, just a Coke Zero. It was actually, it was Cherry Coke, so I grabbed the Cherry Coke Zero. They know what I like. So, fourth boss, somebody was nice to me and put in non-alcohol. I didn't say you could pick non-alcoholic, but I didn't say you could not. So some people kind of picked up on that loophole. But don't worry. We were then back to Malort. Oh, geez. So speaking of poison, do you like spicy things?
I love spicy things. I love the deadliest hot sauce in the world. If they gave it to me, I would try it. I'd probably regret it, but I'd try it.
Okay, so this is Raleigh Reaper Carolina Reaper Pepper Rum.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like my kind of jam.
It's nice, and it gives me so many little hiccups, just hicka the whole time. It was quite good when trying to play Dark Souls to raise money for charity while also using the stair stepper, and at that point having 4 Malorts in me and a 12-ounce can of Coke. It's kind of a balance, if you didn't think of it, between wanting to go fast to end the punishment, but then also having to pace it out so you don't fall over, which, is important.
I was about to ask, you didn't fall over during all this?
No, I took one break, too, before Bed of Chaos, and we can get to that in a moment. So then next drink, Big Wave, just it's 12-ounce beer, I think a 5%, or nothing fancy, but at that point, after 4 Malorts and a Carolina Reaper rum, that was the best palate cleanser I could ask for. Number 8 was a cocktail. We had an old fashioned, but it was made with Cherry Coke Zero. Very good, though. Very good. Finally, my friend Donnie was looking out for me. Ice water. just a pint of ice water. Just, perfect. Thank you, friend. Might have been what helped. Okay, and then I believe this might have been either right before we got to the Lord Souls, or it might have been right after we did Four Kings. Just another big wave, because then right after that I have written down bathroom break. Because here's the thing. After the bathroom break, I was I had an incentive called Pain Mode last year. And how pain mode worked was I had one of those vests that you can put weights into, and I have 30 pounds of weight. So I said, all right, every time I die to the bed of chaos, I'm going to add another brick to this vest. And, I could end up having 30 pounds on me. I don't get to take it off until I win. And while I did not know the Toki Bomb trick last year, and I have been practicing it for this year, I managed to get it done in one shot. And normally it's first try or I'm there all day. So I was very, very proud of myself. And again, wrestling, I demanded 2 big waves so I could Stone Cold Steve Austin those boys, because I was pumped. As excited as I was, that may not have been a good idea, because we're now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 units of alcohol in me. We make choices. And the next choice somebody made for me, because I let them donate to do a cocktail, and I saw that gleam in your eyes. So, hey, this could be you this year. Are you much of a fan of late 90s, early 2000s American cinema of the romantic comedy vein?
Not really, no.
Okay. What about the films of Christopher Walken, Brendan Fraser, or Alicia Silverstone?
I mean, I've seen some, but I'm not extremely familiar with them.
Okay, so there was a movie, Blast from the Past, where it starts in the 50s, and they think the nukes fall, but it's just a tree branch, and Walken and his family, they're underground, baba dabba dabba dabba. But the big ongoing joke is that Christopher Walken loves Dr. Pepper. And he doesn't just love Dr. Pepper, he loves hot Dr. Pepper. So a buddy made me a cocktail using hot Dr. Pepper with a shot of Malort in it. He just went to the store, got a Dr. Pepper, put it in a pan, put it on my stove, and heated it up till it started bubbling. And you know what? It was probably one of the best things I drank that day.
Sounds like shit, though.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, a warm drink after probably at that point being an hour, 5.5 or 6 of cardio. I think it was, maybe I was getting a little delirious. Maybe we were multiplying negatives. Who can really say? All right. So now, 2 very wonderful people. Ice water and ice water. So, I did get 3 pints of ice water in me and 1 12-ounce Coke Zero. So there was not alcohol. And then finally, for good old Gwyn the Lord Ascender, a big wave and another pint of water. So we only had to fight 15 bosses. Not so bad. Right? You can do more, you can do less. I think 26, if you're going for a full clear, is Dark Souls 1. That's going to be bad. And in the name of bad, we have an incentive that's been modified this year. So remember when I told you about the Bed of Chaos?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so what if I pain mode is here this year, but I've changed it a little bit to be worse for me? Because, my suffering, if I've learned anything, and to Skippy back me up, there's nothing the internet loves more than, somebody playing Dark Souls and somebody humiliating themselves. And I figure, why not use that for charity? So if we hit $2,000 while I'm still playing the game, the revised pain mode starts. The revised pain mode is that I have to put on that weighted vest with all of the bricks in it. And I have 2 ankle weights, each is 5 pounds, so we're up to 40. And I have 2 weighted gloves. They're only a pound each, but, it's really, really completing the thing. Now, I did one practice stream with that, with Skippy commenting to just kind of keep me sane. And it sucks. It sucks real bad. I was doing that sober, and I regretted my decision very quickly. So with the advent of the booze that's going to be in me, or if I'm partway through the game and then that gets thrown on me, well, now those 11 bosses I didn't fight last year, they're going to be looking real good to just, try and get this weight off my body. But then also, I've got to put more horrible drinks in my body. For the kids.
Well, that makes it all worth it, though, right?
It does. So, speed runs, I'm sure we've all watched them. They can clear it in minutes. I think if you're doing the most ridiculous one, it's like sub 7 minutes, right? Where you're doing the wrong warp and you end up on the other side of the wall, and where you got to place the Lord Vessel. Like I said, we were 6.5, 7 hours. I think we can do it in 7 or less. It might be more. We also have an incentive this year to turn on the enemy randomizer, so that who knows what that could do to me. The bosses I'm gonna leave alone, but I'll shuffle the enemies around. I feel like that's at least I'll know who is where. So I guess I got some questions for you. What did you think when I first, was going through and running this down and explaining, playing Dark Souls on a stair stepper for basically a working day while drinking a lot of alcohol?
I thought you were incredibly stupid.
Well, I might be something of a scientist here with a degree in pure mathematics and teaching and data science, but yes, I am dumb as hell. So you weren't wrong. Something you don't know about me, I am middle-aged. I clean up fairly nice. I try to be fairly active, but I am a man in my 40s. So what pitfalls do you see coming at me since I am middle-aged and doing this again? You might say, it's a little bit of the Terry Funk middle-aged and crazy.
Oh boy, I'm 37 and I'm already falling apart, so I don't even know what's gonna happen to you then. I mean, yeah, I'm not doing too well. I'm I wake up in the morning, my back hurts.
Yep.
I go to bed in the evening, my back hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the morning, my back hurts, and then my foot hurts suddenly for some reason.
Oh, I've been dealing with a messed up foot recently. I had to get a hernia repaired. Had to have my appendix out. I slipped a disc in my back from an injury about a decade earlier, where when I was playing youth sports, I broke my back and just walked it off because that's a thing that can happen. I was a catcher in baseball, so my knees are kind of conked. I do have Mad Max, Road Warrior, very metal braced knee braces to kind of keep things together. There's a lot of compression hose, I guess, really that goes on me. I kind of turned myself into a sausage to get through. It worked last year, so surely it should work again this year, right?
If you say so. If you say so.
I mean,
you have to know.
I'm just trying to do a good thing on this earth while I'm not completely incapable of moving and maneuvering. That's how I'm looking at it.
And that's great.
Okay, so hey, help me out here. I'm gonna be doing this a long time. What are some solid songs to listen to while I'm going through? I guess preferably of the it's not gonna get copyright striked or the stream muted on Twitch variety.
Oh boy, that's a question. I don't even know. You're putting me on the spot here.
I've gotten suggestions. So we got the the Lisa soundtrack has been spoken of. Loop Hero was a big suggestion. We got Skippy and I are just going to use the turntable over in the corner and just play Loverboy at some point because you won't hear it from the mic. The mic's only going to capture what's on this side, not that side. So I mean, yeah. What game you playing recently that you're really digging? I guess.
I mean, right now I am playing Shin Megami Tensei 5, but that doesn't have that vibe to its soundtrack. But I guess the Messenger soundtrack might be a good idea. That's just some good chip tunes. Really melodic, very upbeat.
I'm probably gonna need that. I feel like I'm really, really gonna need that when it's, deep in the hours and I'm completely miserable and possibly I have extra weight strapped to me. I used to be something of, an endurance sportsman. Oh, I was about 30 to 40 pounds lighter, and would just go out and run 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers without batting an eye. And then I decided, like a lot of guys in their 40s, what if I started lifting weights? So I'm a lot heavier than I used to be. And, some of it's good weight, some of it's not. My joints will be fine, especially when I add more weight to my frame. That I'm not a tall person, so really, there's kind of upper limits to how much mass I should pack on. But I feel like if it creates a silly accident that will get people to want to make a donation, then it's a great idea, right?
Sure, yeah. For the kids.
For the kids. Well. Iggy, I hear that we can find you on Twitter at IGgyLP. I hear we can find you on Blue Sky at IGgyIGsen.bsky.social. I hear we can find you on Twitch at IGgy_IGsen. And once again, I love having another person that got stuck with that underscore. Someday, maybe I won't have to be Geoff_A_ghost. Maybe I'll get my name back. Who can say? When I was talking with Ilion about this, also, just they are unable to get their proper name. Somebody else is just camping it.
Well, I have my own name without the underscore, actually. I just don't use it.
No, well, don't I feel foolish? I thought I was doing some good reporting. YouTube,
Well-
just at IGgy IGsen. Duh, easy. You know, I go there a lot. You know, I'm at work. I'm doing my job. I'm bored because I have just a spreadsheet job now. It's awesome. And, you know, I'll throw on whatever. You know, usually a Souls thing, because now I'm at the you know, we got less than 2 months before this. I am very much in the I guess I better make sure I know what this route is and write it down on paper, because I'm gonna get real drunk. I'm not gonna remember what I'm supposed to do, and it's a lot of, you know, having the sheet here to pass off to somebody to let them remind me what I'm supposed to be doing. I can, you know, it's kind of, you kind of get toddler brain, but, you know, if I'm told what's the next boss to go to, what's the next objective, I'm pretty okay. Iggy, any last
thought you were
words?
No, I thought you were gonna continue talking. That's what it sounded like.
No, just, you know, doing the classic dead air chicken.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll never chicken out.
Oh,
Okay.
shucks.
Or did I? I forget. God damn it. Well, sometimes I do, maybe.
We can call it a push. Why not? Well, if you're watching this in the future, then it's too late for me to say this, but hey, Ghostnola Industries is going to be coming up with a stream later as Skippy, your Nola, and I continue as the French Connection, just Slaughter and Drangleic. But, you know, in the future, in like, oh, it was probably October, that'll be done. We'll probably be done with that game. So who knows what we'll be doing. I hear Dark Souls 3, and, you know, I do know that Skippy and Iggy both participated in an LP of Dark Souls 3. I've never beaten it. I'm still way in the beginning. I get stuck up with the old ones. You know, I love number one. I have a PlayStation 5 just so I could play the fancy redone Demon Souls. Ah, beautiful stuff. Simple man.
Yeah, I mean, look forward to 3, I guess. It's probably my favorite out
Yep.
of, you know, the trilogy, more or less. But that LP sucked. Okay, that's unfair. Well, I'm looking back at stuff I made years ago, and oh yeah, no, I would do that differently now.
Do you know what Baiju is?